All right, welcome back to the Coach Steve Show. We have the band back together. We have Coach West back with his son sound asleep because the last time he was here, he was sunless. Did not have a son. Brad has moved to Florida. He is currently hanging out with Urban Meyer in a whiskey bar, but has stepped aside to come back to the podcast.
And is across the bay neighbors with Tom Brady, which basically makes us like 2 handshakes away from it.
We're basically code general managers of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers now.
Yes.
So I expect free tickets.
I mean, you'll get them as soon as I get them.
I will not be paying you this month for the podcast then. You can just give me the tickets.
Well, Steve, let's be honest. I've never received a single Safe Moon payment from you.
I'm waiting on the Dogecoin.
I know. And it's supposed to go to the moon.
My fake business has not taken off the way I hoped. So it's backlogged.
Yeah.
I'll pay you after the election.
Okay, perfect. Perfect.
After the Illinois one or the 2024 one?
Yes.
Very good.
That was a very politician answer. That was good. Good.
When you watch JB enough, I know how to answer questions.
Dude,
True.
He's just up here, Brad. You're missing it. He's just mad.
You know what feels really nice? When I first moved down here, it was like the beginning of the year. I got my first paycheck and didn't have any state income tax taken out of it. And I was just like, wow, this is nice.
Thanks,
That's
tourism.
We don't need that. We don't need that negativity.
Thanks, tourism. People actually want to be in your state.
Yeah.
Thanks, Disney World.
The only downside, though, I tried to switch my driver's license over and they drug tested me and it was clean. And they're like, no, you got to have a little meth before you get a driver's license.
They've never seen a clean test back. So they're like, what the hell is this?
So actually, I went to jail. Like, they thought I was urine doping.
Wait a minute. They drug test you for a license?
Yeah, you have to be high on meth here.
At Illinois, you just buy them from the previous governor.
Oh, yeah. Florida, they don't even care. There are no laws.
Yeah.
You know, doesn't matter.
I'm so jealous. I went to Destin, probably the best week of the last 5 years of my life.
I mean,
this is just great.
I don't know. We live right next to like this short section of road where it's like a quarter mile in between stoplights. So all night, all it is like shitbox Honda Civics with 3 turbos in it going pop, 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 driving down the road, which is great.
Those are gunshots.
Also, maybe gunshots. I don't know. Fucking Amy went to a soccer game the other day and one of her teammates' car like got shot up while they were playing.
We just call that up here in the suburbs. That's a Thursday.
That's high stake intramurals.
Yeah. They play for keeps.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, if it gets any worse, you'll have the coaches trying to fight one another after the game.
I mean,
Of course that was bad transition.
I tried.
Well, so
a little rusty.
We're all a little rusty. We're all a little rusty. If you guys haven't noticed, I have a nice little ticker going on at the bottom. We've upgraded.
Yeah, I like the scrolling bottom thing.
The line.
Is that where all of the money you keep promising us went to?
To pay for this ticker, it cost me 100,000 safe moons to get this sticker.
You son of a bitch.
And by that, I mean it cost me 1 Dogecoin to get this sticker.
Perfect.
That's all I've been asking for this whole time.
Well, Florida doesn't believe in crypto, so it's been very hard to get it over the border unless I put meth in it somehow. But in Illinois, JB keeps all the meth in his house without toilets, so it's hard to grab.
True.
He
When's
actually replaced the toilets with bricks of meth.
When's the election?
Well, we've got the primary coming up here at some point, right? Because we vote in November for like the main thing. So we don't even know.
JB's keeping that under wraps.
It's gonna be a shit show.
Yeah.
JB has it wrapped up in a McDonald's wrapper, so we don't know when it's going.
Yes.
He's so fat. It distracts from everything else going on.
He's too
like
busy.
He looks like who? God damn it! What was the name of he's the governor of New Jersey?
Chris Christie.
Chris Christie. He's got Chris Christie vibes. Where like you're fat enough, you got to wear your pants up here.
He's got a titty belt.
Yep. Yeah.
He's got a titty belt because his belly button and his titties are like at the same level. So much for a sports podcast.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Okay.
We did it again.
It doesn't matter. Joe Rogan's right.
Exactly. Okay, so
flag. YouTube's going to flag this.
Yeah, no, we're done.
Joe Rogan is currently FaceTiming with the Queen of England because she's tested positive with COVID. So he is FaceTiming with her how to fix her.
Makes sense.
Probably.
Wait, is the Queen of England, did she really get it?
Yeah.
Today it said test
No
positive.
shit. Oh.
Yep. Yeah, she's like 92. She's in
she's old.
Risk. She's in the at risk of the at risk group.
Yeah, but she's rich though. So like it's not real.
It's kind of like
rich.
AIDS. Yeah, it's kind of like AIDS. It just disappears.
Yeah, it's what is it on South Park? $100,000 blended and shot directly into your bloodstream kills AIDS.
Yes, I mean she's got gold, so she's good.
Yeah, she's fine. Okay, so if you want to actually talk about sports, we had an interesting sports conversation come up the other day. So Tom Brady is retired. The city of Tampa is very sad right now. It's a sad place. If you had to choose between, if you're Tampa Bay, you bring in Kirk Cousins or you bring back Jameis Winston, what do you do?
I would blow up the franchise and leave the NFL and just go play in the USFL.
Okay. So not like, say it's not even your team, but it's a team you have to watch every weekend. Would you rather watch a team quarterbacked by Kirk Cousins or a team quarterbacked by Jameis Winston?
I'll be honest. Oh, man. I mean, it's like you're going to get ripped either way you say this, but I mean, Jameis Winston set the NFL record for interceptions in that offense. Like, we already know what that looks like.
Yeah.
So I feel like, God, Kirk Cousins wouldn't be 28 interceptions bad, but I don't know. That'd be interesting. I would say Kirk Cousins just because you already know what you're going to get out of Jameis.
I feel like you get more games won from Kirk Cousins because he does. There's times where he throws for 300 yards and 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And there's times where he'll throw for 100 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception.
Yeah.
Okay. But which one is more exciting?
Neither. They're both like awful to watch.
The answer is Jameis.
I mean, yes, but they're
because for a year? Hear me out. What's the most frustrating thing as a football fan and fans of the Bears? It's a 3 and out, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you bring in Jameis Winston. What's alternate reality? Bears never draft Justin Fields. We use our draft picks appropriately to build a team. Okay.
I like this. I like where this is going.
We could be competitive.
Justin Fields, Steve.
And we got to pick. We got to pick between the Kirk Cousins of the world, which is just a vanilla-ass, middle-of-the-road quarterback, or you could get 30 touchdown, 30 interception Jameis Winston. I've never seen 30 touchdowns as a Bears fan. I'm taking 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions every day of the week.
Why wouldn't I take Mitch Trubisky, who would be at a less price?
No, you get two choices. These are your way out of this.
But I'm saying that I would save salary cap space by bringing old Mitchell back.
Just the like bring it back for the like
run it back.
Let's try this one more time. It's like a bad ex that you can't get rid of.
Here's my thing. I think with Jameis, so with the Bears, so not with Tampa, because with Tampa, they actually have good offensive players and a good offensive line. With the Bears' current situation, I would take Cousins, but if the Bears had the weapons around him, I would take Jameis. If that makes sense, because I feel like the Bears with Kirk Cousins would run the ball more. And that's what I want to see. I'm tired of the Bears throwing the ball 40 times a game. It's never worked.
I mean,
especially when you've got Montgomery and what's his name? Herbert.
Montgomery and Herbert.
Never saw Herbert again after Montgomery came back.
Yeah, no, that was just shitty coaching.
Yeah. God. Can we I feel bad for the Bieniemy guy because I think people are worried about hiring because of Matt Nagy's failure.
Oh, absolutely. Because it's the same situation. You hire Eric Bieniemy, and he wasn't really calling plays. It's the same Kansas City thing, right? It's like no one was worried about Matt Nagy. They were like, yeah, he was involved. Clearly not that much.
Yeah. Nagy was – you want to talk about bipolar coaching. That was terrible. We benched Mitch. So last year we benched Mitch because we got pissed off at him and then backdoor made it into the playoffs. Sat and just took our lumps with Nick Foles and got our ass beat. And then all of a sudden it was, Nick Foles is hurt because we broke his ass. In comes Mitch and we backdoor in the playoffs.
And then he beats our ass in the preseason.
Against what? We were missing 2 defensive starters. And he torched it. You want to talk about a statement? When I saw that was when I wanted Brian Dable to be our head coach. Because I was like, look at what he did with Mitch over a preseason. Now our defense was playing very vanilla. But I saw that Mitch, and that Mitch was even better than the Pro Bowl Mitch. Dude, he torched us.
He is the Nickelodeon. He is the Nickelodeon MVP.
Yeah,
the
true. MVP.
Yes. So I don't know. I was,
But anyway, Kirk Cousins over Jameis Winston.
I think it depends on the situation. In Tampa, I would take probably Jameis because you've got – I could probably throw a touchdown to Mike Evans. Exactly. I've got a good offensive line, unless the Jensen guy leaves, which they've talked about.
So, but think about it. You were just talking about how sweet it would be to have Mitch back. You just bring Jameis back, eating those W's. How do you not want that?
He can keep his pregame speeches to himself.
No, I want more. Now that I'm here, I want it.
You want more W's.
I want more eating W's. So we moved down here, and I was like, well, I can't be a Bucks fan because then you're going to bandwagon whatever. But if they're going to be bad now,
you can do that.
I can do that.
Depends on who all they're going to lose. They're probably going to lose Godwin, right? Because he's tore his ACL. Probably not going to be re-signed because he's going to want more money than what they're willing to pay for an ACL thing. It'll be interesting to see how they pan out because honestly, they're in a situation where if most of that team stays together, you could get a rookie quarterback and be decent.
Oh yeah. The team's good.
Yeah. Trask is the backup quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Well, let's see what in the hell he can do.
So have you seen him do any NFL stuff? I didn't really realize this in college, but he's kind of got a noodle arm.
Really?
Like, yeah, it's not good.
Well, I just watched Florida try and run his ass like 20 times against Alabama, and he was slow as shit. He just got teed off on.
Well, we said we said this on this podcast way back. Me and Nathan did. When you watch him against Alabama and all of them, he's put up 500 yards of passing, 300 to 500 yards, and then Dan Mullen's like QB power. What are you doing? This guy has a lineman brace on his leg, and he runs for 0 yards on a quarterback power. That's not what he's supposed to do. But Dan Mullen ran the Tim Tebow offense, and he's like, I have to run this guy.
Honest to God, that performance against Alabama without Pitts and without Tony, like, I was impressed. I was like, okay, this guy can play a little football.
Yeah.
And the shoe thing, like a shoe, who throws a shoe? Honestly, like that's what hurt that too. Who throws a shoe?
And that guy had an excellent year. He got drafted by Arizona, and he was like a Pro Bowl alternate.
If we ever need a guy to throw a shoe, you're the guy.
Marco Wilson.
If I was him, I'd open a shoe store.
100% you open a shoe store.
Why would you not?
Yeah.
I'm at least investing in something.
It'll just be the logo is just a shoe flying through the air with like streak marks behind it.
Yeah, high flyers.
Oh, dude, he could probably copyright the picture of him holding the shoe and getting ready to throw it.
Just make it an NFT.
I was going to say, we have to do that now. If he hasn't yet, we're going to do it now. This is our NFT. Of him throwing
Which, by the way,
shoe.
NFTs are stupid priced.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I saw this thing. Somebody spent like $8 million on basically like a bit picture.
Or what's his face buy? The gorilla picture for like $3 million?
What are those called? They're board chimps.
Yeah.
Or something. It's one artist that does like all these monkey chimpanzee like artwork stuff.
Justin Bieber bought it, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like the Rock
that's FU money.
Or the Rock buying the dinosaur head for $35 million.
Yeah, but that's pretty badass. If I have an office and I could acquire a T-Rex head and I had the money.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm not judging. I would have it right there.
I can 100% justify that T-Rex head.
I would have that T-Rex head bedazzled in blood diamonds.
Yeah.
I'd be sitting in it right now doing this podcast. I'd be inside of it right now.
Yeah, that would be legit.
Like you turn it upside down and make it into a chair.
Yep. Blood diamonds surrounding it.
Yep.
I'd get a custom mattress. I'd sleep inside of
it. Like a kid's bed.
Is that a single? Yes, it is.
So I say if you're in Tampa, you take Jameis Winston. Who did you say, Steve?
Now, is it Tampa?
Yeah.
Tampa.
Yeah,
okay,
Tampa Bay.
Yeah, if he has weapons, you take Jameis Winston.
It's just more exciting, right?
Yeah.
If you have weapons, like he said, now if they all left and it was the Tampa Bay team when he first was there, you don't want that.
Yeah. Because Minnesota has really good weapons. Have you ever watched a Minnesota game and gone, wow, that was exciting from a Minnesota perspective?
When they lost Diggs, they lost a little bit of pop.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have Justin Jefferson.
Well, now they do, but there was that 1 year where it was like, yeah. I mean, you got Adam Thielen running short hitches and crossing routes, and
he's just low budget Cooper Kupp.
He's a solid B+ rating for the fantasy football.
Yes, exactly. So, okay, that's it. That's all I needed. I just needed some justification for how I felt about Jameis Winston.
Well, this has been a great episode. That's all we needed to talk about. We're good.
Yeah,
We're good.
Exactly. I'm gonna go back to my pile of meth.
You got to dig in there to get your license.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to find the license at the bottom of this pile of meth.
No, so I have one last thing. To get your license in Florida, you have to go through specific insurance for the state of Florida, and it's like 3 times more expensive. So my car insurance went from $60 a month to $180 a month.
That's why
that
you don't have income tax.
Exactly.
That's where
Is it like one company that only offers it?
No. So like I had Geico before.
Yeah.
But you have to go through Geico Florida.
So,
and it's crazy expensive for no reason.
So if I had Progressive and I went down to Florida,
you'd have Progressive Florida.
Progressive Florida.
Flo wouldn't do me like that.
She would. Trust me.
Flo would dirty diddle you.
Yeah. Flo's putting it in your butt.
She's an insurance person, Steve.
Yeah.
One step above used car salesman.
She seems nice.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, those fingers are sticky.
And then you wake up in a bathtub full of ice and you're missing a kidney.
And your spleen.
I'm already missing those living in Illinois. It's fine. They got nothing else to take.
She'd take something. Eyeball, doesn't matter.
Why do you think I'm wearing these glasses?
That's true. The old glass eye.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about Walmart parking lots or whatever?
Pizza Hut parking lots.
Pizza Hut parking lots.
Are you even an Illini fan anymore being in Florida?
Listen, I'm sorry. Actually, we get Big Ten Network. We moved to this apartment complex because Big Ten Network was included.
Well, that's nice.
That was the only reason we moved here.
Just when it was starting to get good. You know, like Illinois is just starting to get to where you'd almost want to get season tickets, and then you move to Florida.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. I can still watch the games, which is nice. And actually, so like the early tips sometimes, like it being an hour later start is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Now, like the 8 p.m. starts suck.
Oh, it's so terrible. Fucking Fox.
Yeah, because then they're tipping at 9 my time, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it. That's the worst part.
Well, that's
like there's no turn it on and go to sleep.
They know that. They're like, there's these idiots out there that are gonna watch this. So we're gonna have it no matter what.
Exactly.
There's some guy in Illinois that's gonna do a podcast afterwards. They're gonna make him watch it and stay up till 11.
Yeah.
When he just got home from a basketball game, they're gonna make him do that.
So
is Rutgers sneaky like the third best team in the Big Ten?
I do not want to play Rutgers. I will go
not
on
at all
and say right now, I'm avoiding them at all costs.
I thought it was funny. There was one play in that game where Melendez got switched onto Ron Harper Jr. and he just like backed him down, pushed him, and then like made a little hook. And I was like, that ain't happening. And Underwood like took him out right away.
Yeah.
And Melendez had like the best week of his career so far. Yeah. And Harper just shit all over him. Like, that's a grown man.
Great week, one play, shits on the whole thing.
Yeah. You're done, bud. You're not playing anymore.
Yeah. Honestly, like that Rutgers game. So Illinois is either going to be a Final Four team or they're going to lose in the first round. And I don't think there's an in-between. I really don't think there's an in-between with them. Because they took the whole everyday guys thing, right? Like that was their thing. We're just your everyday guys. But then in my theory, an everyday guy, you do things that like the average white guy at the YMCA does. Boxing out would be something. Great help side defense. You know, diving on balls that don't necessarily need dive for. You're doing those kinds of things, right? You're making the average guy YMCA plays. And that Rutgers game, we didn't do any of that. And then you could tell there was an emphasis on that at the beginning of the Michigan State game because there was a few times where we boxed out so well that if the guy doesn't go over our back, I'm pretty sure the ball was going to hit the floor.
How many over-the-back calls should have been called in that game?
Oh my God.
It was unreal.
State one.
Yeah, they were like climbing up DeMonte Williams' back.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Another thing you saw in the Michigan State game is that Tom Brady.
did you just hear all that popping?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all these idiots in their '08 Honda Civics just thinking they're on Tokyo Drift.
Brad, I think
I sit out every night. I sit out on my balcony and I scream at them like an old man.
Fuck that, dude. I'd be the
Damn
official
kids.
starter. I'd go down there and I'd be like, "What's up, guys? You need a starter? I got this."
Yeah, like, fuck.
You need to somehow get rights to that street and then just charge them.
Yeah.
And if they don't run under a certain time, you get their pink slip. Then all of a sudden you're a used car dealer in a seller's market.
Big time seller's market.
And then you can afford that insurance.
I appraised my Jeep the other day. It's worth more now than what I bought it for.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, but you're not going to find a car. You're going to have to wait a month.
Yeah. Well,
That's
I was going to buy a shitty Honda Civic.
Yeah.
So I can race.
This is
I'm gonna
more
shave my-
You just get a Toro lawnmower. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah. Just like backfiring every 3 minutes.
And you can start your lawn care service. Like, it's all one shebang.
just
Exactly.
get a gas-powered golf cart. Same thing.
Very Florida. Actually, there's a really cool Florida trailer park like right across the road. I thought about just, getting a golf cart and just going over there one day and be like, I'm the new trailer park supervisor.
And there's a new fee.
Yep.
It's called my auto insurance fee.
Yep.
There's a new HOA around here. $100.
$100 or I shut off the propane. Just walking around with a crescent wrench. I just never use it.
Just the thought of it.
Yeah. Yep.
No,
Exactly.
you get one of those T-bar things. So you can just
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna turn off your water if you don't pay.
Yep.
Joke's on you. We don't use water around here. It's all Corona Light.
Underrated beer. I love Corona Lights.
I wouldn't know.
Oh, they taste better than regular Coronas.
How does
They're
that
not as
even work?
heavy.
They're the best. It's
Wow.
like Corona without the crappy aftertaste that you get.
Now, are you saying with or without a lime?
Well, you have to do it with the lime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But anyway, back to Illinois basketball. Like, I agree that they could very easily be a first round out because there are games like we just look like we show up and don't give a shit.
Yep.
And what's wrong with Andre Curbelo?
He's out of shape. I mean, that was like his 7th game that he's been in.
So get this. So they keep saying that he's practiced 20 times. Underwood said he has practiced 14 times this season.
They keep saying he's out of shape.
Yeah.
And then there's times though he takes like 8 shots in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like, and then he tries to do too much. I think it was on Logan and Craig's podcast. They said like when he plays at 100%. Yeah. I just talked to him yesterday. If he plays 100 miles an hour, he's bad. If he plays like 80 miles an hour, he's good. When he goes 100 miles an hour, it's terrible.
The problem for him was he came back and he had probably the best game of his career against Purdue. And so everybody got these crazy expectations, not realizing that we're going to have some little growing pains still. He's a sophomore, trying to play like starter minutes. Doesn't really have like Frazier's been great, but he's still not Io DeSumo, right? Like, depending on the night, we get it to Grandison, we get it to Frazier, we get it to Plummer, just depending on the night. That didn't happen last year. There was one guy we got the ball to.
Well, because Frazier expends so much energy on defense.
Yep.
So much energy to turn around and try to fix the offensive struggles, no offense to him, he's got to be up for like one of the best defensive players in the nation, but like he can't turn around and go do that night in and night out.
No, but I was hoping that when Curbelo came back, he'd be in better shape, take some of that offensive pressure off Trent, you know.
And
How bad are our guards at post-entry feeds?
Well,
yeah,
they're
our
horrific.
forwards are better. Our forwards are better.
Yeah, no, because like every time Grandison gets the ball, his post-entries are great.
Mm-hmm.
But if Trent tries to feed Kofi in the post, it's a nightmare.
Him and Plummer. Plummer sometimes throw a bad pass.
But I'm okay with Plummer because he can shit off for 20 points at any time.
But he's in a slump. He's in a slump right now.
I'd rather that slump happen right now.
Exactly.
I'd rather him slump it up right now. The one thing that irritates me is when he makes it about himself. So the Maryland game, right? So we come out at halftime and him and that guy start jawing at one another. And then all of a sudden he goes back-to-back possessions, jacking up stupid shots, and then gets like his ankles broken on defense. And then I felt like we never recovered from that. Like we never had the run. We never recovered from it. Like he's got to understand, saying Utah, man, like if you're off, you've got guys around you that can help you. And his defense scares the shit out of me. I think at one point in time yesterday, Michigan State had scored like 40% of their points off of going at him.
Yeah. He's got the Rich McBride defense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That dude cannot fight through a screen to save his life.
There's a screen? Never mind.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna trail you by 5 feet.
But how good does it feel when he's like rolling and he shoots a three and as he's winding up, oh, that's in.
And it's not on balance either.
No.
Like when he's hot, he's like sideways chucking them up.
Yeah.
And it's in.
Yeah.
But the thing that concerns me is when we give it to Kofi. Do you notice how we just stand there and watch him? And it bugs the shit out of me. And they talked about it yesterday. They said Underwood even said that like we get too stagnant of like waiting for the three. Now it's one-on-one. You kind of have to because you got to trust he's going to beat him. But when he gets double teamed, you know how hard of a pass that is to turn around and try to skip past it. We stand there and watch.
I think Kofi doesn't see the double fast enough. Like he's still getting used to that. He puts the ball on the ground or he can see it coming and he still tries to put it on the ground and make a move first. And it's like, dude, it's like Will Ferrell on semi-pro. Like, post up, get it right back out.
Yeah.
You don't have to sit there and like.
Nope, don't want it. Nope, I'm not ready. Nope.
There's some times where you're not going to be in a good spot. The double's coming quick or the triple. And you just got to find somebody.
And teams are coming at him with a late double.
Yes.
Well,
he never experienced that last year.
No, and then they're not doing it at the beginning of the year. They were doing it from like if he's on the block, the guy guarding the corner was doubling. Yeah. Now it's coming from behind, and they're trying to. It's a run and jump at the post. So hopefully he's just going to throw it, and they're gone.
It's normally coming from the backside wing almost.
But then to help him out, though, we should be cutting. We should be setting a back screen or back cutting, and he could pass it. But we stand there, and then like against Rutgers and who else? There was another game we haven't shot well. When we don't shoot the three well and Kofi's not scoring, they don't know what to do. They're like, like Omar Payne giving up that wide open layup he had to kick it out after he got that rebound. Like,
what are you doing?
Like that type of thing.
Yeah, he could have went up and dunked it. He was wide open.
Well,
the dude was on the ground in front of him. Sorry, but
yeah. Did you see Coleman Hawkins rebound kick out?
That gave me like he's starting to play better, and I'm like, thank God.
Dude, his tools are unbelievable.
But he went through a major slump in the middle of the season.
But again, if we could get Coleman Hawkins playing like good-ish defense and just is that offensive rebounder like hustle minutes guy, I'll take that.
I'll be.
You know?
What was the game? Hold on, I'm looking at scores because it was one of the preseason games. What he scored like 30 something. Now it's against a shitty team.
Well, yeah.
Was it Jackson State or the UT Rio Grande team?
No one scored that game.
Who the? Kofi had 38 and Alfonso Plummer had 30 against Texas Rio Grande Valley.
Yep.
Whew. There was one game where Coleman Hawkins went off at a career high early on. Maybe because they were high on his like horse. Like he did well. Yeah, because he was basically like averaging a low double-double.
But
He
that's
was
the
like
thing.
13 points and 8.5 rebounds or something like that. And then just he stopped scoring. Then his defense stopped playing. Then he started giving up offensive rebounds. And now he's coming back. That block that he had,
Oh,
dude, that's hard as shit. That guy went to use that rim to protect himself to get that shot off. And he went that was a hell of a play.
yeah, to like stick his hand up, just
Yeah.
barely got it in there. That was a good play.
Yeah.
And that's just his length.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah,
if you can, I love the lineup that's him and Omar Payne. And then if you put RJ Melendez out there too, that's just fucking arms everywhere.
It's literally just arms.
Because that's what the team might look like next year.
Well, and you got that dude from Baylor that's got the 7'7" wingspan.
Yeah.
He's 2 sets of arms.
Have you seen him? He's like way out of shape.
Yeah, but if there's one thing that I don't question, it's Illinois basketball getting people ready to play.
Oh yeah, no, and it's good that he's here now.
Yeah.
He has like a full year.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
He'll be good. How much did you guys like lose? Like you were like almost in tears when Trent Frazier went down.
I shit my pants. I left the room.
I was like just staring at the TV or right on my laptop. I was just staring at it like,
yeah.
Yeah, I literally had to walk it off.
Because we were getting beat, and then it was like, oh, well, now what? Like, this is like, okay, we're about to lose, and that sucked because that Purdue game was so hyped up. And then to think that we were going to lose him, that was going to hurt.
Well, think about it. We have no other guards, point guards.
No.
Because Corbello's not ready to play that many minutes.
No.
And Pods, I love Pods, but he's too young.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's just not ready to – like, our freshmen have shown little pieces, but they are showing that they're also freshmen, right? Because, like, Goody comes in, has a good game. Melendez comes in, has a good game. Pods came in there for one game and had a really good game, and then the next game just – and so – that's kind of nice because those will be guys that will be here for 4 years.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, they're not out there like throwing up 20 points a game and everybody's like, oh my God.
Also, my favorite like thing is Pods. His dad comes to like every game.
Yes.
From Wisconsin. And like after every game, they just put up threes in the gym. Like his dad stays at the State Farm Center and they just shoot threes together. That's awesome.
And then I guess after the Rutgers game, Underwood said that Grandison and Plummer got off the plane and went and shot for 2 hours afterwards.
Yeah, at like 2 a.m.
Yeah, they landed it back home at 2 a.m. and was shooting in the morning till 4.
And, well, it wasn't just them. Tim Anderson went with them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which if you're a young recruit, like, I want that.
Yeah.
And they better, they better shoot more free throws too, because our free throw percentage is just.
Well, it's weird. We're just in a slump in general because, like, you know, it's bad when the guy that made 30-some straight is missing back-to-back free throws.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And Kofi is not a good free throw shooter until it literally matters.
So
and then he makes them.
Yeah.
Like, if you notice that, he like early in the game, he bricks them. But then late in the game, he's dripping sweat, can barely breathe. He just cashes.
Here's my question. Do you think they ever call him for taking too long to shoot a free throw this year?
Fuck no. They'd never call that.
Because they're like chanting that. Yeah, but I've seen some bullshit. I've seen a 3-second violation. I was at the Arizona game for that.
When they called that 5-second.
I was there.
Yeah.
That was Carlos's, a.k.a. my Colt. He's, named after the dude from The Hangover.
Nice.
But anyways, freaking, I was at that game. They've called some stupid shit and not called some shit they should have called.
But these refs, especially in the Big Ten, are just terrible.
They're having a bad year.
And we're in a ref shortage, so we can't really be saying a lot. But goddamn, they need intervention at the end of the year.
Well, why did they stop the game yesterday? We still never got an explanation for that. It helped out Illinois, but
like in the first half.
And that was weird because two things in that game were really weird that I've never seen before. They didn't stop the game when the Michigan State guy was down.
Because we had the ball.
But they stopped the game when Illinois' player was down.
Yes, and that's why it was weird. Normally, when your team doesn't have possession, they don't stop the ball.
They can't until it changes possession.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just like you can't call a timeout on defense.
And they never gave an explanation.
No. They said, they're explaining things, and then they never told us why.
And then, near the end of that game, I've literally never seen a shooting foul and an off-the-ball foul called at the same time.
Compound. That was a 5-point play.
I know. Have you ever seen that?
I've seen.
I didn't even think you could do that because the off-the-ball foul would have to happen at the exact same time that the shot goes up, right?
I think I've seen a foul happen on the shooter and an off-the-ball foul at the same time. Once. But I can't remember if it was NBA or college.
But then again, so think about this. If they don't give you the three-pointer, then at the end of the game, if you're down 3 and the other team goes to shoot a 3, you just grab somebody and foul the shit out of them.
Oh, yeah, good point.
3 points.
Yeah.
It was just, that was a very weird situation. I had never seen it.
I'm not going to lie. I thought the game was over then. Because
I was worried.
That's a break your back foul.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's my other fear with Illinois is because it was like the Northwestern game, I was worried. In this game, they get up by 16 and they're like, we're good. It's fine. And then we start turning the ball over like crazy. Like, I think we only had like 8 turnovers yesterday, but I guarantee 7 of them were in the second half. Guaranteed.
Well, and then the point guard for Michigan State turned into Chris Paul.
Well, they have the bench score 20 points.
Well, our downfall will be a team that has a big that they can run pick and roll with, and he can shoot. Because we don't
Ohio State.
We don't defend pick and rolls worth a shit.
No.
I watched Krutwig kick our ass last year. Purdue figured that out. Now all of a sudden it's like everybody is all of a sudden running pick and rolls out the ass. And they're just like, where in the hell's Kofi at? All right, let's pick and roll with that guy.
Well, they said it during that game the other day. They're like, if Kofi's on the floor and you're a point guard, you have an open 15-foot jump shot every play.
Yep.
And that was their entire comeback.
Yep.
Was just attacking that 15-foot range. So nothing has changed since last year's NCAA tournament.
No.
It was the exact same shit.
But I think we're starting to get exposed with it, And so what's nice is we got about 5 games to figure this out, because I guarantee you every team we play is going to have some version of a pick and roll.
Oh, yeah.
The good thing is, do we play anybody? Well, we play Ohio State. I know that. So
With the Illinois killer.
We have Ohio State,
Is
Michigan.
next.
Yeah, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, Iowa.
And Iowa, they could run that if they have Murray in there and he's playing the center spot. That will give us problems. But that'll be senior night.
I'm not as worried about Iowa because that team's just as flawed as it was last year. Like, they play no defense.
Yeah. But somehow beat Ohio State at Ohio State.
Yeah.
Ohio State's first home loss of the year.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
So honestly, like, we got to get through this. If we can win this Ohio State game, I like how we're going, but we're going to have to defend an EJ Liddell who always seems to play his freaking ass off against us.
Yeah. But you know what? Like, in the past, they've just put DeMonte on him. And, yeah, you give up a lot of size, but
yeah,
it works. Like,
yeah, very true.
So we have 4 games left, and Ohio State has 6 games left.
And 3 of our games are at home.
Some of these teams have more games left. A lot of these teams have like 6 games left. We got 4. So they're going to come in either tired into the Big Ten championship or come in hot while we're sitting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think the Rutgers was a nice wake-up call. Like, losing bad to Purdue, dude, Jaden Ivey is the real deal. Like, I'd love to see that kid play in person.
Oh, yeah.
Because top 5 pick. Like, I've seen some good-ass people play at the Assembly Halls / State Farm Center and haven't ever seen a kid quite like him. Which, the first game was shame on us for not going at him and getting that 5th foul.
Yes, that whole overtime.
Both overtimes.
Yes.
Yeah. He had 4 fouls. You go at his ass.
Yeah, and if you get a charge, you get a charge. And the next time you drive right back at him.
You goddamn right you do. Put him in a shitty spot. But, so I think that was shame on us the first Purdue game.
The Rutgers game, the only thing concerning from the Rutgers game was the lack of energy up until like 4 minutes left. And we're like, oh, let's play basketball and cut this to 10.
Uh-huh.
But then it's too late. You got a minute and a half left at that point.
Yeah, the shooting doesn't bother me as much as just the effort. The boxing out, when we start out the game and we're getting our ass kicked on the rebound, like on the offensive end and the defensive end of rebounding, that's when I have a problem, because that's not a Brad Underwood team.
No.
Well, that's why he was pulling guys out left and right that weren't playing defense. But then there was some point where he was like, well, shit, nobody's playing.
I don't have anybody left. Yeah.
I think we saw guys that have never played really in the game, and we're like, what's he doing in here?
Mm-hmm.
What's his face? Can't remember his name. Can't remember. There was some guy in there. I was like, he hasn't played in like 3 weeks, and he's putting in there, and it's like, oh shit, we're in trouble.
Hey, do you want to apologize to me personally for the boss man's Verdonk slander that's happened on this podcast in the past?
I don't think have we ever said anything bad about him?
Yeah. Don't you try to get out of this.
Did I?
No, it's mostly Steve.
I don't recall saying anything about that because you guys know more than I do.
Because I was high on the boss man's early.
We said he looked like a fucking granite statue.
Yeah, he was an Adonis.
Yeah.
No, I don't recall ever saying that.
Steve,
I
would never slander a basketball player in my life.
I remember. I remember that we all agreed that if he ever figured out how to play basketball, he could be a hell of a asset for us.
Right. I don't recall saying that about any Illinois player.
Yeah. Just so you know, the same guy that's rounding up all the Epstein people might be coming to old Steve Kachevsky's house.
They already live here, so you're
get ready to get suicided.
Steve is officially throwing out all of his bed sheets right now.
Yep. Steve's on suicide precaution for the rest of the night.
Steve now
the cameras
has plastic wrapped his couches and his bed for any kind of DNA left over.
Not a camera to be found in the Kachevsky household. All the batteries are taken out.
Put the cameras up.
Yeah, I'm excitedly nervous. I will tell you, though, being at that Arizona game, that was the loudest I had heard that place in a very long time. I've went to a lot of games, but that was just a fun atmosphere.
It looked like every player on Arizona was 6'7".
Dude, they were brick shit houses, too. Like,
yeah.
Those guys were thick.
Yeah.
You weren't shoving them around. And then they had these long, lanky centers that gave Kofi a problem. But yeah, they're like guards were all like, you weren't shoving them around.
Do you think it's weird that Kofi struggles with 7-footers not named Hunter Dickinson?
Yeah, it's weird.
He just shits all over him every time. But every other 7-foot center who's trash, Kofi's like, I don't know what to do.
So Hunter Dickinson, though, I think people are starting to figure him out.
Yeah. Well, he literally has no help.
No.
Not to defend Michigan.
Yeah, but you can't run like a NAF, which is a term that I learned this year at the new place that I went to. It's a non-athletic fuck. He runs like a NAF.
Yeah.
Like what? You're telling me like I would love to watch that guy just sprint like 5 lengths of the court. Just see what it looks like.
You know, he runs like Luka Garza.
Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus.
Very similar, right?
Yeah. Except Luka had like this thing going on. Whereas he's got like, if we're doing this, it's like a.
Yeah. Yeah.
His hands are always at like his waistband, ready to draw a gun.
It can move fast. It can move fast.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
So we've got a couple minutes left. Do you want to discuss the fucking?
Speaking of Michigan,
what the 5 fingers say to the face?
Speaking of Michigan, let's just watch this here. There's a little talking, a little grabbing.
But this doesn't get the beginning of it.
No, I can't find that one.
Okay. So what you miss here is Juwan Howard pulls that mask back and is talking trash to that guy long before like they meet.
Oh, before right here.
It's actually before that is when he starts. No. That's the very end of it.
So they go to shake hands, and Juwan Howard doesn't get in line, right?
Yes, right. And his entire staff goes through and shakes everybody's hands. Then you have like 3 Michigan players in front of Howard. And then Howard, and you can see him, he pulls his mask back, and then like the Wisconsin coach like grabs his arm like, hey, you're not going to do this like passerby talk shit thing. Like, I'm going to stop you, and we're going to discuss this. And then this ensues.
And then he hauls off and hits the assistant coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, now watch Musa Diabate there at the end, dude. He like 3 pieces a guy, and that guy goes backwards.
Oh, are you talking about the Wisconsin player?
I'm talking about Musa Diabate, number 14 for Michigan. Watch this.
Yeah, watch this.
He comes up. Boom,
boom,
boom, boom.
Yeah.
So first of all,
there's a Michigan player that gets popped in the face twice, and he's right next to 14.
Huh. Yeah, dude, it's not good for either of those clubs.
So Big Ten Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Juwan Howard.
Who's already had one incident where he's tried to fight a coach.
This year. You know what he is? You know what he is? I don't know if you've ever listened to Jalen Rose. He's a hold me back guy.
Oh, he is. Because I don't know if I saw another alternate camera view or one that was just zoomed out, but he had a police officer and another coach like holding him back.
Yeah. And by the way, he's fighting Greg Gard, who's like my size.
Yeah. Honestly, I thought Howard was just going to walk by and talk shit and not even look at him because Howard's like up here and the guard guy's like down here. Like they don't even look eye to eye.
Did you see this video? Hold on. This one's funny. Afterwards. Suck it. I just love it. Boom.
Well, that's the same assistant that it gets right in Howard's face.
Yeah.
After him and Gard get separated.
Yeah.
That was on the part
Which isn't a good look either.
No. Honestly, like, you can't. It was probably wrong to, like, grab his arm with the tensions being that high. Honestly, like, Underwood's been that pissed off before, and, like, he's waved off the handshakes, right?
Yeah.
And to me, that's what you do. You just say, you know what? Like, we need cooler heads to prevail here. I'm going to get out of this situation.
So all of this started because Greg Gard called a timeout with, 10 seconds left?
And Michigan had their starters in.
Yeah.
I guess.
But Michigan was running a press
Down
on
19.
Wisconsin's bench players.
Down 19.
Down 19. What are you doing?
With only 4 seconds, so I took a time.
They ask him about it. They will ask him about it.
Greg, congratulations on the win. Before we talk about the performance, take us through what happened after the game in your eyes.
Well, apparently he didn't like that I called the timeout to reset the 10-second call because we only had 4 seconds to get the ball over half court. And I didn't want to put my backups. I had all my bench guys in the game. I didn't want to put them in that position of scrambling with only 4 seconds. So I took a timeout and it got us a new 10 seconds and helped them, get organized and get the ball in. And he did not like that when he came through the handshake line. So I'll leave it at that, and the tape will show the rest.
So you're a piss poor loser.
Well, he's always been that way. Meet me in the park or on the blacktop, and then
not play a bunch of games.
Yes.
You know what? This is what happens when you give a team a fake Big Ten championship.
Yeah.
Which I will say this. I'm going to go on the record right now. If Illinois ties Purdue for this championship, I am not going to claim it because they beat us twice. I can't get pissed off at Michigan and then pull a Michigan.
I said the same thing. I said this when Michigan won it. It's cool to win the regular season, but when you have a championship, does it really mean all that much? Now, if we didn't have a championship tournament, yes. But then it's cool, whatever. But
I just have a hard time knowing that Purdue, the double overtime was a good game. That second time they put us in place.
Yeah.
Like I have a hard time criticizing Michigan and then doing the similar thing.
Yeah. And now, admittedly, we both played all of our games.
Very true.
The Michigan thing was different. Like, we had more wins.
Yeah.
And I don't think if we have the same winning percentage, Purdue would still be the champion because they won the head-to-heads, right?
I don't know. Everybody's saying that
we would have to win outright.
Oh, well.
Like, Purdue would have to drop a couple games.
And you went out right.
Yeah.
Like, to me, but if it's tied, I would feel like.
If we're tied, Purdue wins it. I mean, because they beat us twice. So
yeah,
we can have the same record and they won't. We got you. We're on board.
Yeah.
On board.
So does Juwan Howard get fired? Do you fire Juwan Howard?
They will not fire him. Needs to be suspended more than a game. I'd say the rest of the regular season.
I would say he doesn't come back till the Big Ten tournament.
But knowing Michigan and how they handle stuff and how the NCAA is going to look at it, they won't.
Well, the Big Ten kisses their ass on everything. So I doubt and Kevin Warren's just about as useless as anything. So he's not going to do anything.
Would be interesting to see how they handle the Diabate kid. That actually throwing punches and landed.
Yeah.
And if Juwan doesn't mirror that, because he threw a punch like a bitch, tried to slap somebody or whatever, but you're like a head coach. That's a lot different than an 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid. Because that kid's just a freshman.
Because they have a game the 23rd before they play us. So if they suspend him and it's Rutgers.
Oof.
So one, I hope he does get suspended for that game and Rutgers beats him by 20 or 25. That'd be hilarious. But then will they let him come back to coach against Illinois because it's Illinois? So that's why I could see Michigan going, you know what? Suspend you for a game. Try to beat Illinois.
I did see somebody tweeted Juwan Howard just wanted to do this so he wouldn't be 0-6 against Brad Underwood.
So true. I'll be honest though, dude. Michigan's schedule, they got Rutgers, us, Michigan State, then Iowa, which isn't much, and then Ohio State. Their schedule. If he's pissed about losing,
you're about to get a couple more L's, bud.
He's going to be getting those Jameis, put 2 L's together.
Yeah.
Did you see Ohio State's schedule? Ohio State's got Indiana, us, Maryland, Nebraska, Michigan State, and Michigan.
Yeah, no, Ohio State sneaky could win the Big Ten.
Yeah. But Michigan State's getting to the point where they really need to, after losing to us, they need to kind of win out to save face.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because they might be unranked after this week. And their schedule is not much easier. You got Iowa, then Purdue, then Michigan,
19
then Ohio State, and then Maryland. So, you still got Purdue in there, and I'm telling you, I don't want to face them either. I don't want to face Rutgers. Thank God that's over. How do you beat a team by 30 and then lose to a team by 20-something?
Are you ready for the official Big Ten statement from today?
Buddy.
We're currently reviewing the Michigan basketball and Juwan Howard incident, and will punish Illinois accordingly.
No, it's and we will ban.
Oh my God!
As a sponsor,
so
and no team is allowed to use their name or
So I'm going to put this on the podcast. I don't care. I'm not going to share it, but I'll read it. The DC from Clifton Central, our buddy who's a Michigan fan. You want to see what he put?
Yeah, sure.
I'll read it. Greg Gard should be fired for what happened today. He stopped Howard from going through the shake line, and everything escalated from there.
What?
And then
dude, the people that are now, I don't think the guard guy is totally innocent. I think if you got a guy mouthing off and you're going to I wouldn't say forcefully grab his arm, because it wasn't like Howard tried to get away either, right? Guard put his hand on his arm, when coaches approach one another, and put his hand on his arm. Howard could have easily just walked away.
But then said, and please, before you try coming at me 100% of the Illini blowhard would be defending Underwood with that's my coach and passion and BS. What?
Underwood's never done that. He's never hit anyone.
Underwood's not a classless fuck.
Which, by the way, I totally forgot. I just looked it up. You know what he said to Mark Turgeon at Maryland?
I can't remember.
He called a timeout, ran across half court, and was pointing and screaming at Mark Turgeon, "I'm going to fucking kill you."
There you go.
Big Ten Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
I can't wait to comment on this on Twitter when we get off here. I'm going to go after Matt. I'm going after him.
Jesus Christ.
Dude.
I'll be honest with you. Like, I've had words with a coach after a game, but it wasn't even over the game. It was just we beat the shit out of him, and then he wanted to run his mouth. Your buddy, Steve.
And if I was there, a metal chair would have came flying out of the stands.
I'll never forget looking at one of Brad's former teammates who was on his coaching staff and being like, you remember like when he left that scouting report and shit in the locker room? Dude, I was going off. I was like, I don't even understand how you even stick up for this fucking, because I think half-assed John wanted to beat the shit out of him too. Us Fithian boys roll deep.
Especially at the Roost.
Yeah. You dang right.
Dude.
But honestly, like, yeah.
I mean, the player needs to be suspended more than Juwan Howard.
Because here's the deal. So they're both removed from the situation. This is the problem I have, right? So your teams meet in the middle. Shit, that's just the start of an Ohio State-Michigan football game, right?
Right.
Like, you got to get them separated, whatever. When Howard came in and threw that punch, it got escalated really freaking quick.
Yeah.
And so because Howard was in the back. I mean, the dude's got he's got long. He's a former professional basketball player. Like, got long arms and reached over somebody to slap somebody in the face.
But by God, that mask protected him. By God, anyway.
That was the first, because no one was escalating it physically until then.
No, actually, like everybody was in between. That's why he had to go over people to smack somebody.
It's horseshit.
Yeah, he didn't necessarily have to stop Juwan Howard, but if you watch it, then Juwan Howard grabs him. Like, all he did was shake his hand and just, when you shake a person's hand and grab their forearm real quick and you're shaking.
Yeah.
That's all.
He grabbed his arm to stop him because I think he wanted to say something.
But then Juwan Howard grabs him, like, by up here and grabs him. It's like, you just escalate. All you had to do was say words. Yeah. Or just walk away and just say, I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. And then be done.
All you have to do is go, don't touch me.
Yeah.
There you go. Because it wasn't like, because we all act like he grabbed his arm. No, he fucking placed his hand on his arm. He didn't even, because he can't wrap his hand. Guard's too damn small.
Yeah. Did you see, like, both of their hands were together, like, close to each other? And Greg Gard looks like he's got baby hands.
Yeah. He's a child.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. That's a bad look.
I'm already tweeting at him.
And I know it's different from, what's the name of the Ohio State coach that punched a player in football?
You talking about when Buddy Ryan tripped the guy running down the sideline?
No.
Long time ago?
Ohio State's head coach back in the day punched a player from Michigan.
Oh, who was that? That was
it was like their Hall of Fame coach. It's a different situation, but in a way it's the same. Like, as the coach of the program, you can't be throwing haymakers.
No, and that's the whole thing. Like, how many times
Woody Hayes?
Woody Hayes. Yes.
Yeah.
How many times has Brad Underwood been that pissed off, but then doesn't escalate it?
Well, because he just is like, no, just go to the locker room. Like, we're not doing this. Our teams are heated at one another. We're not doing it. We did that with Iowa, with Fran McCaffrey.
Yeah.
I would say that those tensions were even higher because that was actually a game that mattered. Michigan's trying to make the NIT. Like, we were trying to win the Big Ten. There's a huge difference. Like, tension stakes much higher. And Underwood was like, we're not shaking hands. And McCaffrey was like, well, fuck you. We're not shaking hands either. And they, like, had their words across half court. Like, never even got, Chin Coleman, I think, was more pissed off than.
Did you see that video of Calipari, like, grabbing Chin Coleman and sitting him down?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that. Because I know that's a rule. Your assistants, I've never seen it be called.
No.
I've literally never seen anyone call that. And that's people were defending Calipari because he's like, he's making him sick because he has to. I'm like, no one on earth would call that.
Well, and no, I mean, normally you have a guy that's like, because it's kind of like an offensive and a defensive guy, right?
Yeah.
And that's just what they do. They yell out matchups. They yell out all kinds of stuff like, hey, we're going to switch this. And that's kind of like your coordinator, like stepping up and like basically he's calling out what needs to happen. I know that shit didn't happen in Illinois.
No. It makes you wonder. It's like, you really enjoying yourself down there in Kentucky, bud?
Yeah. Him and
Like,
Antigua both. Like,
yeah.
And then we had another coach that went to Gonzaga.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Which he came from Gonzaga to coach here.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't trade our current coaching staff, though.
Dude, I love Trent Frazier or Chester Frazier. Like,
yeah,
he came in and had an immediate impact.
Yeah, and his I get little tidbits since I'm not on Twitter, but evidently his Twitter game is pretty strong.
He's good. He's got
like
a strong Twitter hand.
Yeah, and can recruit like crazy.
You know what also I liked? So Underwood made the comment, like basically backhand complimenting Coach Bielema and the football team. And then Coach Bielema came back at him and was like, hey, I'd like to have a red zone package for Trent and Kofi. It's kind of nice to see like our coaches getting along like that. Well, how long has it been since that's happened? I would say I don't even remember.
No, because even when Zook was good and you still had Weber, they didn't.
No, they didn't even. Well, they were two separate entities.
Well, did you see Bielema drove to Purdue to watch that game?
Yeah.
Like he's going to away games.
Aaron Henry is.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, like, he you see stuff all the time about him like trying to get Trent an extra year of eligibility to come play defensive back.
Yeah.
And that's he would probably be really good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's cool to see the buy-in across Illinois athletics.
Yeah, it's kind of like we went blue collar and we're accepting it.
Which had to happen the whole time.
I mean, they finally listened to our podcast. I think they said, you know what? We can't do all this pregame shit. It's too crazy. But we can make a nice blue collar atmosphere.
Exactly. And we could probably have nickel beer night.
Yeah. Yes.
The Steve guy keeps tweeting at Bielema every week. We got to just listen. We just got to get him to shut up.
Steve, we had our chance. If we would have went down on the field fast enough.
Oh, God, yes. We had the opportunity.
I mean, you could have talked with Embleton right there.
But Bielema scares me. When you hear his voice just in a normal conversation and it's spreading throughout the whole stadium, you're like, oh, we're not supposed to hear this conversation.
Dude, at that camp, when me and Steve went to that camp, you could hear his voice over everybody.
I'm sure he's like a big booming dude.
Yeah. And when he like speaks, like everybody like stops. Like, oh shit.
So what did you think of Barry Lunny Jr., new offensive coordinator?
I love it. But I think he'll be gone in like 3. If he has a lot of success, he'll be gone in a couple years. But I mean, it's kind of the same position the Bears are in. Like if a guy comes in there and has success offensive wise, he's probably going to be gone.
Yeah.
But I like it. I liked UTSA's offense when we played them. Mm-hmm. Thought it was hard to defend.
I just think we still don't have that playmaker yet. Being able to throw the ball to, but I think this got to be more creative. Don't get me wrong. I like seeing 8 linemen out there at one time. I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. But then at the same time, it's like you can't do that in the Big Ten over and over again.
Yeah,
I think they'll have that though. They're trying to recruit these younger guys now. It might be another year, but I can tell you this: that the kid from Gibson City that runs a 10-500. Now we're competing with the Ohio State kids where they get like 4 of those guys.
Yeah.
because we have one. We don't get one very often. I think the last good sprinter we had on our team that was like a good multi-sport was Morris Virgil. You remember him? He wasn't good. He was just the last one that was fast.
Yeah. Yeah. We haven't really had speed on that team in a long time.
Yeah. It's been very like, hey, we're going to get these big, tall dudes and like try and make them route runners. And
yeah,
let's be honest, Isaiah Williams, he's our best playmaker. He needs to touch the ball like 15 times a game between jet sweeps and targets, I would say. If I'm Illinois, I'm not wanting to throw the ball that much.
No.
But I think action team. Let's like do that.
Based off like watching UTSA, I trust the new guy enough to like actually have a good gadget play.
Yeah.
For Isaiah Williams. Like he will put him in space one way or another.
Yep. And I think the other thing is that all of the assistants understand that you dick around. If you are keeping us the same and not pushing us forward, you'll be gone.
Yeah,
because it wasn't like our offensive coordinator. Like, yeah, it sucked, but think about who he had throwing the ball. Like,
oh yeah, And I give Whitman a lot of credit for forking over the money to keep Ryan Walters.
Yes.
That was huge.
A huge move. Yeah.
Because he was going to be gone. He would have been gone.
Dude, he
might be gone next year.
Like Brad did a dive on him, was like, oh, multiple, and I was like, okay, cool. Dude, he was a home run.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't even like double. Like we almost won like 3 or 4 games because of our defense.
Yeah, because the offense is scoring 9 points a game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm excited. I think it'll be fun. The next year should be fun.
You know what? They got us again. They're doing it.
Hey, just reeled me right back in.
I'm ready to be hurt again.
It's just a toxic relationship.
Steve, that should be the name of this podcast. I'm ready to be hurt again. Across all Illinois sports.
We'll just make another podcast, just us three, and that's what the title of it's going to be, is We're Ready to Be Hurt Again.
And it's just all Illinois, like me getting my hopes up. Oh, I don't have a tinfoil hat, but Purdue should have to vacate all of their home wins for not having tenths of a second on their shot clock.
Yeah, what's up with that, dude?
How are you a goddamn engineering school that doesn't count tenths of a second?
Wasn't that weird?
That's like insane.
How do you not like? I don't even know. Like I'm like that was a weird thing.
They said during the Illinois game, they're like, the Big Ten really doesn't like this. Well, goddamn it, Kevin Warren, get off your fat ass and do something about it. It's a shot clock. They're not that expensive. High schools have them.
Yeah. Well, not a lot of them.
Yeah, not a lot of them, but some do. That's dumb. And I think they should vacate all their home wins.
So then Illinois gets sole first place.
Exactly.
We'll pull a Michigan.
Honestly,
no, don't say that,
dude.
We'll just be
that shot clock thing. They got. If that's not fixed by next year, I feel like they should like be fined you lose 2 scholarships. That'll hurt.
That is the equivalent of like, oh, we have fiberglass backboards. Like, what?
Yeah, that's the I don't even know. Or you have a clock on the floor, but it's only at one end and it favors the home team and it's behind the away team. Like, I don't know. Yeah, that was quirky, man. And I'm with you. Like, wait, you produce engineers and you can't come up with a proper shot clock?
Yeah. Even just have a nerdy kid down there with a stopwatch or something that just yells. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't know.
0.7 seconds.
Yeah.
Because
That was it. That was my only tinfoil moment that I was like,
I need more
Yeah.
research from this, like the basketballs. I need more research done.
I think we need to contact Purdue and ask them if they've gotten prices yet and hook them up with somebody to get them.
yeah, could I interest you in a Hibbett Sports card? I've got some discount points.
We should all donate. Donate rewards points and gift cards to buy Purdue a score. We should start a GoFundMe.
Maybe that's it. Maybe Purdue has to win the Big Ten to get the money.
Maybe.
You know?
If they're not fixed by next year, it's just pure bullshit.
Oh, they're just trying. Yeah, there's some weird competitive edge to not having
Because let's be honest, you're Purdue University, one of the top 10 teams in the country all year. You're telling me they couldn't make a call and have that shit installed like overnight?
Absolutely.
They have Watchfire signs right over here in Danville. They just say, we're going to
We'll
give
get it
you
done.
$60,000 to make this overnight and have them installed by tomorrow. It'd be done.
It's just they don't want to.
No, they don't want to because they've known this.
Yeah.
So we maybe need to expose them. Brad, get back on Twitter, and we are going to tweet at them all the time and tag Illinois Barstool, and we're going to get this going.
Steve, I tried.
I think what we do
I
is
will make one for you.
I think what we do is we get a GoFundMe. We tag Barstool Carl.
Yeah.
That's the move.
And then Barstool donates shot clocks.
Just like 50 shot clocks.
Oh, because, Brad, you haven't been on Twitter. So Barstool Carl was going hard at Purdue. He got a ticket in the donor section.
Mm-hmm.
That dude does not care.
No. He was
like his content for Barstool's hilarious.
He was the last guy to leave the stadium. So he was like, fucking told you. Fucking told you. It's going to be the last dude in this building. I was going to be the last dude. And other than the workers, the last dude.
I died laughing when I saw like his Instagram. He posted a picture of like he went into the locker room after the Illinois game. And like Brad Underwood's like kissing him on the cheek. I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now?
That just told me that they listened to our podcast. When that happened, I felt good.
He responded to me saying, he said, thanks for stopping by, Nick, right? So now he's got me fired up.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
On that note.
No, dude, you guys know how to get each other's goat. It's so great.
All I said was, hey, at least our coach isn't a punk-ass bitch.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You just went balls deep. You didn't even try reasoning.
I don't reason with stupid people.
Fucking Steve. He said to hell with calling the show just the tip. We're calling this thing a full-on violation.
It's going full.
Yeah.
It's called Balls Deep.
Welcome to the Balls Deep podcast. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Be about baseball. You can talk about home runs.
Exactly.
Someone did send me a book that they wrote called When Life Grabs You by the Ball or Baseballs. Could call it that.
No, at that point in time, I think you need to go talk to your local oncologist.
Yeah. Something's wrong.
Sir, something might be wrong with you.
I think you need to.
I don't have the parenting skills to deal with this situation.
Yeah. I just think, honestly, with that whole situation, like it was separated, and then Howard, for whatever reason, came back, and I think it was for optics. Because as much as he wants to be a badass, he's a five-fingered, limp-wristed poon. You know what I mean? Like, he's just a bitch. And so he's like, ooh, now that I got 2 layers of people in between me and the head coach, I'm going to go at him all crazy. And then he slaps one of the assistants because he's a dumbass. Probably didn't even graduate from Michigan. We're going to talk about that University of North Carolina team that had the fake classes. Think about the Fab 5 classes. All right, guys, Legos up to 4 spaces. That's like
Maybe that's what I'll tweet at him next. I'll be like, what happened to that Fab 5 championship? Oh, wait, it doesn't exist. Bastard.
Suck it.
You know, it's just
you want to know what I like is that Eli Brooks was nice amongst all of this.
The only one that was nice.
Acts like an idiot.
Eli Brooks with his Jerry curl.
And his
Literally looks like Prince off the Chappelle Show skit.
yes. You know, Eli Brooks didn't become a child during this incident. And I think that should be noted.
Game.
Musa Diabate, put on some weight. You'll be the next WBC heavyweight champ.
Well, was there anything else we missed?
I think we nailed it.
We nailed it.
Got the rust off.
We'll see you back in 4 months.
Putting the oil in. No, we'll be good. Carlos was this whole time.
I've got Florida things to do, so I'll probably see you in 6 to 8 months.
He'll have us on a phone on a surfboard out in the ocean.
No, so it was 83 degrees here today.
It was 52 here. I was out in shorts and a t-shirt.
That's not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, the snow melted. Pretty nice.
But I almost started this podcast from a pool floaty.
I would have
Dude,
driven
I would have
down
laughed
there.
my balls off.
I would have driven down there, pulled a Juwan Howard, and open hands slapped you.
But yeah, maybe that would be one for the future.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, like
Podcast after dark at the pool.
yeah. I'll go down to the river right next to my house. Steve will go to the local sanitation facility.
The local drainage ditch.
Yeah. No retention pond. He'll be in a retention pond.
He's got a fucking syringe sticking out of his neck. Like, Oscar, why are you such a grouch? Bitch, I live in a trash can.
And there'll be a protest happening right behind me.
Oh, my God.
Full of a bunch of school board members and moms.
Yep. Exactly. You're done, bud.
Poorly raised kids going to school.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I'll be fired tomorrow.
All right. I got to get going. So.
All right. Game.
Deuces.
Blouses.